Hello there, my name is PolishLynx, and this is the bottom of the well, freshly released on Steam. I think it's a visual novel. I don't really know. I should have read the description. Help about. This game is a visual novel. Okay, you will mainly interact with it by selecting one of many options during the narrative, which is mainly text-based. There are, however, two additional layers of interaction. Customizing allies. This you do when you start a new game and allows you to begin and play the game with an entirely different set of skills and characteristics. For example, a fit and survival-minded allies will have a different experience from an unfit but social allies. Pick your skills with care but have fun experimenting. The inventory. At a certain point in the game you will be able to choose what allies is carrying. How much you can carry depends on allies' backpack, which is directly dependent on her organization skill. You can only pick up items once in the beginning of the game, but you may lose them during, of course, the course of the game, okay? All interaction happens through clicking, no right clicks or keyboard commands are needed. Two keyboard commands that are used. Escape brings up the menu, shift and space or enter will skip the text, okay. Enjoy the game, thank you. I will try. New game. Let's go, the bottom of the well. Welcome! This game is a visual novel. Okay, I read this. Of the well does have gameplay aside from the multiple choice, for the most important of which is the kind of allies or protagonist you are going to play. For your first playthrough, we recommend to use the default allies, but the customization is there to be used. Even if you complete the game, a different allies might have a very different experience. If nothing else, you might just find a new way to die. Thank you for playing our game. Red Nettle Studio. Okay. Survival supplies. Dating? Okay. I would like the default allies. I would like to randomly generated. I would like a custom. I would like the dark allies. I would like a custom. I want to customize. Yes. Clicking, I will give a short description what they are. Alright. Alright, so I think we have 9 points to give into 1, 2, 3, 4 into 6 areas, huh? Alright. She looks like she's pretty fit. She might not be great with survival. She might be great with career, but let's give her 1 point. Social life, dating, supply. This skill general responsibility to organize her supplies, both on others. Flash and that means she can carry more things. Okay! She's pretty fit, so she should be able to carry a lot of things. Okay, let's... Or maybe... Okay, let's go like that. Yeah, so accept and start. Dream Diary, September 13th, 2015. Tonight I had the weirdest dream in my... Hey, I was reading it! Morning. Did you catch the anniversary reading last night? No, well, I tried, but I fell asleep. Listen, about that. You fell asleep? Oh, come on, Alice in Wonderland is like our favorite. Let me finish. Something happened. I was tuning in on my radio. You're such a ludite. Amazing I can even catch you online. Shut up! I'm not a ludite. I just like analog things. Anyway, I was tuning in the broadcast and I must have hit the AM switch or something, because suddenly the channel changed to something else. What? Aliens? Oh, government-run number stations. It was this weird, like white noise at first. It's hard to explain why I was so drawn to it. I could hear snippets of sound melody, maybe lyrics, but the signal was weak. So we turned it off and continued looking for the Alice broadcast. So I went out on my balcony and turned around until the signal came through clear. It now sounded more like music, with the old signal in the background. When logic and proportion have fallen sloppy, Dead and the white knight is talking backwards and the red queen's off with her head. Oh, so somebody's pirate radio broadcast of golden oldies. It felt like there was something else there, some message that the music was hiding. I know it, sounds weird, and then I fell asleep. What a story. No, hear me out. I dreamed, and I didn't know I was dreaming. Do you understand? It was entirely lucid, but like waking up in another world, except I didn't think of it as another world. Does this make any sense? You had a super lifelike dream where you didn't know you were dreaming, but you were still lucidly in control. Sounds pretty rad to me. I'm sure it would have been, except for the whole end of the world, apocalypse bit in the dream. Okay, now you've got my attention. So, like I said, I was in the end of the world. Everything I did that day felt like the real thing. Every smell, every sound, color, touch. It's important, you know that? I wasn't acting like I would in a dream. I didn't know it was a dream. Okay. Heavy. There was no warning, no build-up, nothing. Just between one moment and the next, the TV had turned to the emergency alarm system, and this voice that sounded like it had been recorded in the 60s told us we were under attack. Were you alone? No, I was with some friends. We were having a movie night at my place, watching... Holy shit, I think it was actually the new Star Wars movie. There was this scene where old Han Solo was just about to knock over when the TV just switched. Wait, the new Star Wars? As in episode 7 on DVD? You know that dates your dream, right? I hadn't even thought about that. Sorry, go on, what happened next? Like I said, the TV suddenly turned to emergency alert. Jack the volume all the way up too. I didn't even know they could do that. The broadcast told us we were under attack right now and that we needed to go to shelter. That we had less than 30 minutes before the bombs hit. What's this? What the heck is this? Or this? Or this? What do I do with these things? Jesus, sounds scary. At first I didn't want to believe it. I switched the channel, but they were all the same. And then the sirens started. Tornado sirens, flood sirens, I don't know, and I knew things were serious. So, what did you do? I went offline of course. I went online to find out what was going on. I immediately tried to call Chess. Who the heck is Chess? I needed to think about my options. Right, if I were in such a situation... Sirens and so on, something is going on around. I don't think I would call anyone. I would go with this, I think. Didn't you try calling someone, like your parents? Fuck. Of course I tried, but it was futile. The phone network was completely overworked, but the net still worked fine. What did everyone else do? Everyone was pretty terrified. Some tried to make a joke out of it, but there was something about the voice on TV that belayed them. Once we figured out the net still worked, everyone was on it. So, what did you find? The net was still working, but the bandwidth was severely lacking. The major news networks were either down or overloaded, but all the big search engines defaulted to some kind of government site in super simple HTML. That kind of confirmed it really was the real deal. Isn't the net supposed to be some kind of DARPA invention anyway? Wouldn't be surprised if they had some kind of system in the place to take it over if need be. Well, they hadn't taken it over. You could still go wherever you wanted. Facebook still worked. Apocalypse-proof servers. Nice. It was insane. I tried to get in touch with my brother. He's the only one who's even got an account, but there was no reply. I spammed my aunt and sent an email to my mother, but I don't know. It felt like I needed to find someone right there and then. And? A group chat. It was spreading through our social network like wildfire. Someone had found the closest old fallout shelter that was actually still operable down on 3rd. People were going there, just grabbing all they could and running before the bombs fall. So, what happened next? I lost the sound in my headphones. I did find you online. That must be useless. I'm all the way over in Old Blightly, unless things were different in your dream. No, you are still in the UK. The bombs had already started falling there. You disappeared. There was nothing more to do. It was only a dream. Sure. So, then what? I immediately tried to call chats. I need to think about my option. The follow shelter seemed like the best option. Okay, I know the phone was fucked up, so I needed to think about my options, because you don't go to shelter without preparations, I think. Okay, what was your plan? The broadcast kept saying to stay indoors, to keep all windows and doors closed, stuff like that. But what if a stairway got blocked or a fire started or something, and I'd get trapped up there? It didn't feel very safe. And I'd imagine they would hit downtown first, right? Not that you live right in the middle of town, but... Right, getting out of town felt like a good idea. They would attack the cities first. I'd be much safer in the countryside somewhere. That's true. I think it's safer in countryside. Or... basically outside town. Spoken like a true survivor, but why do it alone? Wouldn't it be safer in a group? I thought of that. It could be done with a small group. Did you suggest this to people in your apartment? I mean, leaving town? We were all talking about what to do, so yeah, of course. The other alternative was the follow shelter, but that was actually closer to downtown than my apartment. Was it realistic of you to think you could stay in the apartment? Realistic? It wasn't like I had been through a lot of apocalypses before. I'm not sure what constitutes realistic. I had enough food in my cupboards to last me a little while, so at least I had that going for me. Oh yeah, and then I had my trusty radio. Of course, I tried it and it worked. It was sending out the same emergency broadcast as the TV, and you caught me a little bit. You got me there. So, what did you do? I immediately tried to call Chess. I don't know who Chess is. They followed shelter. They decided to try to leave town. Decided to try to tough it out at home. As I said, if I would have to do that, I would go with this. Fallout shelter is also a good thing, but I don't think... Actually, what I think... I'm sure a lot of people would go there and it would end up like there's not enough space or something like that. So yeah, leave town. I have a feeling this was going to prove to be more difficult than just taking the Greyhound, huh? Yeah, but I knew I didn't have a lot of time to spare, so I hurried out and... Wait, you didn't leave empty-handed, did you? Oh right, yeah, I grabbed the biggest bag I had. A backpack, people always call it magic, you could fit so much into it. Bigger on each side and all that. Okay, so I can... Okay, flashlight, obviously. Take the radio, obviously. Sleeping bag, yes. Food. Oh, I can't take more food. And that's all you can fit? That backpack sucks! A day's worth of non-perishable food. Or maybe you don't need sleeping bag, but you need food. No, I think you need radio actually. Don't know why, but I feel like yes. Or maybe I can drop one and actually take the sleeping bag. Alright, let's go like this. Wait a second, what's over here? Flashlight, keep the batteries in a fresh microphone. Use your inventory, drop and pick up items, press the button on the left, read the description of items, holding down the mouse over them. Some items can be carried in your hands, but most have to be carried in your backpack. When you are done, press exit. Oh. Okay, so... Hey, seriously, you can't take it into freaking... okay, exit. And your friends, were they coming? Most of them. I mean, the people watching the movie with me had left, but there were a few who stayed. I didn't know you were such a leader of people. Me neither. Weren't you terrified? It's not like you were going camping. Fuck, my hands were shaking the whole time, but I was kind of working on automatic. I even turned off the TV and the lights before leaving. So, if you weren't planning on sticking around for the bombs to fall, and you weren't planning on going to a shelter to hide from them, what exactly was your plan? Well, we needed to get out of the town area fast, which left a few options. The streets. I can imagine they must have been pretty bad. You live centrally, don't you? Yep, the streets were bad. When we got out of the front door, it struck us. Accidents everywhere. Gridlocked as far as the eye could see. Panic, bedlam, awful. So, no buses, no metro, and you don't own a car, correct? That's right, but we had a few options. One was to start walking until we got out of the gridlock zone and then steal a car. People were leaving them with the keys in the ignition, just running away. Okay, sounds awful and reasonable. Another would be to try find a car as soon as possible and then use it to make a way out of gridlock. What, like in the action movies? A truck or a bus or something smashing through? Something like that. Alright then, so, what did you decide to do? To walk past the wars, to try to steal a vehicle right away. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. There are people around, so basically they probably walk on the streets, and I'm pretty sure there is no possible way to move it unless you freaking drove through them. So to walk past them. I said that walking was the best option. The whole downtown area was gridlocked, cars everywhere, people running down sidewalks, and the sirens blaring. It was like one of those disaster movies. No hope of driving anywhere at any rate. But where was everyone going? Most of them were going home, I think. People were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. And there you were, running away from home. Once I made my decision, I stuck to it, no matter how much I was filled with doubt. Half an hour was nothing at all, but luckily that estimate was completely wrong. Sometimes I'll walk half an hour in the wrong direction just because I stubbornly refuse to believe I'm lost. I didn't know what was the right direction, but I did try to get wherever I was going as fast as possible. I stayed off the major roads, and especially roads that I knew led towards metro stations. Not that I was the only one who had gotten that grand idea. Was there any danger? Like people attacking each other or something? Nope, I thought we were all going in the same direction, but then I realized that the crowd was heading somewhere I hadn't planned to go. A subway station. What did you do? I elbowed every pull and ducked and weaved my way out of there before I was swept too far along, but I did lose precious time. Time. Yeah, isn't that the thing you're fighting here? How far were we planning on getting? Well, a lot further than I had gotten at that point. I could practically still see my apartment building, but the crowd was slowly thinning at least, and I actually saw a vehicle in motion, an ambulance, weaving between stalled cars with its sirens blaring. What did you do? I planned to find an appropriate car. I kept walking. I started looking for shelter. I kept walking, intending to get away from danger before I had to stop walking. But there were people around still, right? Okay, that's middle shelter. But by shelter you probably mean some house or something. I think this one. We just kept walking. I don't really know what I was thinking. I don't think I was thinking if I looked down and put one foot in front of the other, maybe nothing would happen. Something like that. So how did it work out for you? You think it was easy? People had driven out into the sidewalks and left their cars. Everything was a mess. We tried going down the main highway, but it proved pointless and we had to backtrack. You didn't say it was easy. Did you consider running? I half ran and jogged as much as I could, but it felt like being late for class. I got tired almost immediately, while the goal was still as far away as ever. I wasn't the one in the worst shape in the group though, but we all adjusted our speed to one another by unspoken agreement. Adrenaline was high, no one stopped to rest. Where were we going? Away, as far as we could. I don't know. And, well, once we got away from the downtown area, things were much smoother. We ran as fast as we could, as far as we could. No bumps, still no bumps. I could believe it. I couldn't believe our luck, but I knew I was pushing it now. What did you do? Started looking for shelter. We just kept walking. Okay, so we... shelter, I think. We get inside, thinking to go to the kitchen to check out the supplies when the first bomb hits. I scream and jump under the kitchen table. Last minute save. So what was it like? The first thing that happened was the windows blew in. I just closed my eyes and pulled up my knees and made myself as small as possible. The bombing continued for I don't know how long, but aside from the windows we seemed to be pretty okay. So it was worth it to go all the way out of the town then. Why did you blinked? I didn't want to think about what it was like downtown. It was scary enough out there. A few cars drove past and I heard sirens. At one point I ventured out to glance out the window. Once the bombs had stopped hitting and I saw a city center in flames. Ash rain. But at least you got out. How long did you wait in your house? Wait, ash rain? If there is ash, that might mean a nuclear weapon. What was the question? What was... Oh, shit. As for 24 hours, actually, I would say. That was a bad choice, I think. I don't know how safe the house was from Fallout, really. Windows blasted open and all that, but it was probably safer than walking in the streets. And as long as I only ate the uncontaminated food, it ought to be okay, I thought. What about the others? Did they have their own food? No, we had to share. All the food we got on us, ready to go, and in the end we had to supplement a bit from the cupboards. I'm sure it was fine. So we ate through all our supplies, and then... in one night or day you ate everything? Wow. I wanted to keep going. I wanted to try to find Chess. Who the heck is Chess? I wanted to keep going because I have no idea who is Chess. There were a lot of other survivors on the road as well, and soon enough the rumors started circulating. There was a government evacuation center set up in the old college. Everyone was going there. The college? As in your college? Yep. Talk about coming back to the beginning anyway. That's where everyone was headed. There was just one minor problem. The river. There's a river? Not something I had thought about either. I didn't live anywhere near it, so whenever I crossed it, I just drove over it. But there it was, a geographical reality. So, I mean, the bridges were surely still there. True, but when we approached them, we realized they were occupied. Oh, by whom? I'm not sure. I saw them from afar and kind of ducked into cover. I saw immediately they weren't good news. They had guns and were harassing the other people who'd come to the bridge. I think they were muggling them. Did they let anyone pass? Yeah, some, but I didn't know what the price was, or if they had some other criteria for letting people through. So what did you do? I decided to wait nearby and see what would happen. I went up to them and confronted them. There are other bridges across. I went down the river to find them. I would do this, actually, to try to find another road to maybe get to, and was to say the other bridges didn't have similar setups. Seems like a likely thing to do. I was willing to take the chance. I wasn't going to dangle with a group of armed men, even if I lost some time. How much time did you lose? About 2 days. We thought it would be easier to walk further away from the river, but that didn't really work, and the river bank had collapsed into the river, which in turn was churning violently for some reason. I'd never seen it like that. Oh. Okay, so that was a bad choice, huh? It was broken? Yeah, it had collapsed. Oh gee, no hope of getting over. Well, it had collapsed, but not totally. Half of it was dragging in the current, some cars still hanging on by some form of magic. Maybe it would be possible to bounce across, but it looked pretty risky. I was so damn disappointed and tired, for it actually felt like a good idea. How about just backtracking instead? Yeah, it was too unsafe. Time to go back. No, damn, I would go back, I think. So we walked back the 2 days. It was even more harrowing on the way back than on the way there, and in the end only to be back where we started. And anything changed in your absence? The government. There was a line of soldiers wearing full NBC protection gear, gas mask and all, directly trafficking on the bridge. No sign of the damn highwaymen. Rescued at last? Well, they did let us all through, but... But what? So, the evacuation center, my college. I'm not surprised I dream about it. It's like at the center of my life right now. It was still, in the dream, a big part of my life. That's where I worked after all. Is this the part where the dream turns weird and the color starts sprouting legs and it begins smoking a hookah or something? Unfortunately no, that would have been a pretty welcome respite. Even so, it must mean a respite. Proof that society survived the United States weren't completely obliterated at CHC. Speaking of, what did happen to everyone? I don't know, everything was still rather hazy. News was sporadic and often hearsay. There was a lot of talk about a missile defense system that no one knew we even had, that had apparently managed to shoot down something akin to 90% of all the enemy warheads. Wishful thinking. Based on what I was seeing, I don't really see the difference. 10% was clearly more than enough to wreak unimaginable havoc. Hell, 1% would probably have been enough. Anyway, go on, I want to get to the end. What happened in the center? At the gates, there was a screening process going on. A big plastic corridor, where we were all taught to undress and go through this super cold shower, after which men in gas masks and plastic coverings ran a Geiger counter over us. I knew it was a nuclear weaponry. Seriously, so what happened? There were 2 doors at the end of the corridor. Beyond the men in masks with guns, whenever their Geiger counters frazzled and complained, you went right. Whenever it was quiet, you went left. I went right. And what about your crew? Some went left, some went right, depending on... It didn't matter, there were no more groups, just the living and dead. Oh, so maybe actually wandering around, trying to find another road was a bad idea. They gave us back our old clothes and the other end, which was the thing that really should have freaked us out. Most were just grateful, but that meant they considered you dead. Yeah. Through the fence I saw the ones going left, leaving towards the dorms, all wearing what looked kind of like prison uniforms. At least they were likely to be clean and uncontaminated. And you, where did they lead you? To the football stadium. Can you believe that? They didn't even care enough about us to get us out of the fallout. They had at least set up tents, stove and kitchen for us, all staffed by similarly irradiated people, of course, presumably serving us irradiated food they didn't want to feed to the healthy ones. This can't be where your story ends. There's actually not much else to say. Huh? Well, I'd been feeling it for a long time already, but by then it just came to an end. I couldn't move anymore. I was too weak. I had to rest. But I couldn't even keep food down. In the end, I couldn't even stay conscious or talk. Radiation poisoning? Yeah, of the acute, bad kind. I suppose it's lucky I can't really say much more of my last time on Earth. I was too delirious out of it to really notice or realize anything anymore. I came in and out of it, but mostly I remember incredible pain whenever I was conscious. And thus concluded my dream. Well, that was interesting. What do you think? I think it felt incomplete. Like there was something missing. That wasn't the way it was supposed to end, you know? Dreams are supposed to end in certain ways. This one was, I think, it felt like it was trying to tell me something, but I wasn't listening closely enough. Maybe you can try again next night to see if you hear the same recording. Speaking of, what frequency was it on? That's the weird part. When I tried to see our lives, I had hit the right channel, and that it was in fact reading Alice in Wonderland. And this isn't exactly some obscure number station frequency on the EM bands. Well, maybe you will dream it next night again. Anyway, that's the good thing with dreams. You can always dream them again. And maybe do something different the second time around. Red Nettle. That's right, that are the creators of the game. Well, to be honest, interesting project. Half an hour. It took us half an hour. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed it. I must say it's freaking interesting. A dream about this, okay, 2 achievements. And I had first death. Okay, there are a few endings. But do I want to make more endings than one? I must think about it. Alright, we'll see. But let's say I won't do. If I do, well, you'll see it in the uploads basically. So yeah, we've died and because of food poisoning. I think if I went immediately through the bridge, she would survive, or she would die in a different way. I don't really know. I still don't know whose chest, but that doesn't really matter. Maybe. Alright, for now, let's end it here. The Bottom of the Wall from Red Nettle. The game is for free on Steam, so maybe you can get to play it by yourself as well, to be honest. So yeah, do it like that. I think that's a good way actually with this game. It's freaking enjoyable and you can get a different way in it, so yeah. And it only took half an hour for me to play and record and read everything through. So without that it should be even quicker for you. I think there are like 6 endings, or maybe 5. No, there was the achievement saying that first death, and there was 1 out of 5. So I guess there are 5 deaths and possibly 1 good ending, or something like that. So yeah, that would be it for now. And play the game by yourself. Really, if it's for free on Steam, it's a good idea, and I believe it's worth checking it out by yourself as well. So hope you enjoyed it, and see you in the next game, I think. Bye.